Hello, my name's Shane Ohly and I'm the race director of the Cape Breath Ultra and the Dragon's Back race. Both of these are extremely challenging multi-day expedition ultra running events held in the UK. The biggest mistake that we see participants making in their training and general preparation for the event is quite simply overtraining in the week and month before the event, and every year it's pretty heartbreaking to see a number of participants who fail to make the start line because they've picked up a late injury, and most of the time this is through simple overtraining or panic training in the last month. We would always recommend a really slow and steady build up to preparing yourself for these events, and really you need an entire year to get yourself ready to participate in one of these long expedition races. The biggest mistake we see in terms of pacing is participants going too fast on day one and day two in particular. I think this is because there's generally there is less knowledge about these multi-day races, and lots of participants have experience of racing 1 or 2, maybe even 3 consecutive days, but 5, 6, 7, 8 days is a rarity, and just the idea of pacing yourself over the full 8 days is unknown to most participants. It's definitely interesting and noteworthy to say that we have consistently seen the female participants do better at these long expedition races as a percentage of finishers, and I think that is because they go off more conservatively. They're less likely to get wrapped up with racing with whoever might be alongside them in those initial days. The most common nutrition errors we see kind of neatly fall into 2 categories, and I should say that this is kind of anecdotal evidence based on talking to participants who have struggled, failed to finish, or just had a really tough day. The 2 errors seem to, fall into these 2 categories. One seems to be an over-reliance on very sweet food, and some runners, it does work for some people, but some runners will set off just with gels and sweet stuff for the whole day, and actually over these multi-day events, a bit more complex carbohydrate, sandwiches, crisps, packets of nuts, things like that are needed by most people. The second error, again anecdotally, would be the failure to refuel properly at the overnight camp. So at our races we have unlimited food available in the evenings for dinner, but people are tired and they're knackered and their feet are sore and their clothes are wet, and they have all of these competing demands on their time, and it's really easy to see people just having one meal and going to bed, or struggling to finish that one meal and they come back for seconds and they don't quite finish it up. And actually refueling when you're burning thousands of calories day after day after day is really important, and kind of investing for the 5 to 6 to 7, 8 day effort is critical. The most common navigational error we see at the events doesn't really fit into one particular category. People go in the wrong direction, they take the wrong bearings, they turn left at the wrong junction, they do a whole absolute catalogue of errors, but the underlying cause is just a weak navigational skills and tiredness, exhaustion even, and people, particularly at the back of the field, feel under pressure to get the race done, get the day done within the cut-offs and the deadlines. And so when they come to make a critical choice, turn left, turn right at a path junction, they rush it. And their brain is so tired because they're on day 4, day 5 of the race, they just don't pause and make a good decision. And actually taking the time, just 10 seconds, 30 seconds, can make the difference between a great choice and a terrible choice, and potentially finishing the race or not. So take your time. I think the most common error we see relating to kit is a failure on behalf of the participants to realise that we will conduct kit checks. This will happen most days, and if you don't have the right kit, you get penalised. There's no second chances, there's no kind of excuses. We're very firm on what we think is the minimum, and that's the minimum safety kit to be on the hill, and if you don't have it, you get penalised. So it's pretty simple. The kit list is available year round on the website. Look at it, make sure you've got the right stuff, and when you go to start each day, make sure you have it with you in your bag. As the organiser of multi-day expedition races for many years now, without doubt the most common reason that people fail to complete these races falls into the personal admin error. And by personal admin is kind of a military phrase, and it's about kind of dealing with your at the end of the day. So that means sorting out your feet, putting on dry clothes, eating good food, getting your blisters sorted if that's what is needed, getting to bed, and having a routine that works for you. And again, the participants that fail have poor personal admin skills, and it may be as simple as their alarm goes off in the morning, they're feeling really tired, of course they're going to be tired, they just snooze for another half an hour, they start 45 minutes later than expected, and then they miss a cut-off by 20 minutes towards the end of that day. So get your personal admin sorted, and that is the key to success at these long events. Whether you're training for a personal challenge or a big multi-day race, I would like to wish you the very best of luck in your preparations, and I hope these little tips will be useful for you.
He's modest as well. He puts on his CV, I've done this race and done that race. He doesn't say he's won them. Robert Barnes, well done.